It's part of the discovery phase. What was the first beer that socked you back?
Oh boy, I don't know. I have. You always love the beers that you taste for the first time, and in your formative beer years. And for me, I had several several beers that were made that really left their mark on me. So even before I lived in Oxford, my family lived in Edinburgh, Scotland for a while, and we used to get crates of Belhaven Ale, and that I loved. I really love that beer. Beautiful with food, fresh from the brewery in half-liter bottles. So I love that beer. Another beer I loved when family came back from Edinburgh. I loved Anchor Porter. I loved that beer. I just it was a beer that I just really craved the flavor of. But in England, when I was with my friends in Oxford, the beers that we were crazy about the Wadworth beers. Wadworth 6X was something we always drank. They make a beer called Farmer's Glory that I just to this day I'd wipe all this Bourbon County off the floor onto the floor, break every bottle if I could have 1 pint of Farmer's Glory right now. So I love that beer. And then Tanglefoot from Badger. So light in color, but just packed a punch and of flavor and hop aroma and just deliciousness. I can go on and on and on. I love Charles Wells Bombardier. I mean, you get it in the bottle over here, and it just sort of sits there, and you go, what is this? But over there, I could drink that. And then my best friend over there, he lived in this beautiful, this little village in Suffolk called Trimley St. Mary, and Suffolk is the home of Green King and Adnams. So I got a fill of Green King and Adnams. That was great too. So, and then the beers that we made at Bunce's Brewery were also just, I thought they were outstanding, and had a lot of fun drinking those beers. And I was also close to, I was close to the other brewers in the area, and I got to go visit them as well. As part of my education as a brewer. They again answered all the questions of this stupid American kid, and let me hang around their brewery and drink with them later on, and it was good times. The brewers over there are tight, or at least they were back in the late 80s and early 90s. They were friends. There was less competition, it seems, among the small brewers, and they'd share stuff. You ran out of something, they'd share it, and that happens here too. But there isn't the same sense of brotherhood and sisterhood yet in the United States among brewers, and I do miss that. So I think there's something in our genetic or national makeup that makes us very hyper competitive, and sometimes I'd like us just to stop it. But just make beer and enjoy it.
So, aside from that lack of camaraderie, almost, or
it's still here. It's here. It's definitely here, but it's not. It's unless you it feels convivial to a person who hasn't experienced the real brotherhood and sisterhood of brewers in a smaller place. So I don't know how I don't know how it would change, but I've seen better, and I wish that some of my fellows had a chance to. My fellow brewers had a chance to get a start like I did. Not because it's the best place to learn brewing, though. English brewing they've really stripped brewing down to its essential elements. But that they would have a chance to really be enveloped by this culture of caring and indescribable sense of brotherhood and sisterhood that is not present in any other place that I've been.
So what kind of carryover do you sort of bring to Goose Island with that?
I don't. I turn into a real bastard. It's all gone. No, I don't profess to be any nicer than the next brewer. I just know that I've seen better.
What about in regards to making the beer, though? Stripping it down to a simpler form and building from there?
No, I don't do that either. I like things that are complex and hard to do, and that's kind of what we do here at Goose Island. I mean, if I were to make the beer that we made, the most complex beer that we made in England, and serve it up here now on this table, it would be a beer, But if you were sitting with your friends in an English bar and it was fresh and it was coming out of a cask that was perfectly conditioned, then you'd go, yeah, here we go. But it's sitting on this table with this wide selection of wacky beers that we've got here, it's not you'd pass right by it to the next thing.
So speaking of that wide selection,